Hi, this is Armando with the Boxing Corner. Just the post fight video is popping up right now. The Hatton the post fight interview with him talking about you know just standard questions on how he felt and blah blah blah. But the reluctant return of Ricky Hatton. I'm not going to give you the whole backstory. I'm just going to let you know that once he decided to make his comeback, it was the fight was sold out before, like they said, there was even an opponent, and his opponent was Vyacheslav Senchenko. I can't believe I may have gotten the first name wrong again, but anyways, much hyped. People were definitely in the Ricky Hatton, mode, and to be honest, I mean, I am a fan of Ricky Hatton, but given just logically, man, he hasn't fought in 3 years, and I know the luster of your favorite fighter, or some of your favorite fighters out there, or your favorite fighter, which could possibly be, Ricky Hatton, coming back can bring out those, luster for grandness and all that. But like I said on Twitter Friday, it may not end well for him. And it didn't in the end, but he did look good in the beginning of the fight. Now let me break down the fight. First round, kind of a feel-out round. Hatton was definitely coming in to brawl. He was definitely under pressure, and he did throughout the whole fight. He pressured Senchenko. For some reason, I gave it to Senchenko the first round. I think he landed a couple of minuscule punches to Hatton's, constant barrage of throwing. Some people see it as, constant pressure can win the fight or win the round, but then isn't really landing 100% clearly. But I gave it to Senchenko in the first round. Second round, I saw Hatton. I gave it to Hatton because, again, I thought the pressuring on Senchenko was a little bit too much, and he did throw a couple of more and landed a few from time to time, and I gave it to Hatton. Third round, I gave it to Senchenko. He was landing some, like, he's all of a sudden it seemed like he kind of figured him out a little bit, and he was landing some straight rights that were bobbing Hatton's head back. The thing with Hatton is he didn't have really no defense. He had a ton of offense. He was creating offense he was throwing out a lot of offense to Senchenko, to where Senchenko would have to respond, and he would counter him. Senchenko would counter Hatton a lot. So I definitely gave Senchenko that third round. The fourth round, Senchenko was looking good during the first half of the round, but then Hatton had him hurt near the end, and I gave it to Hatton because of that. Again, you can have somebody landing some flush hits, but Hatton, like I said, definitely had him a little bit bothered and hurt in the end, and I think he did a bit more damage, and I gave it to Hatton in that fourth round. Fifth round was a little bit more slower. I gave it to Hatton based on just the activity of him, just kind of outworking, but not, like I said, nothing that's dazzling. That's gonna be like, yeah, Hatton definitely got that round. Sixth round, Senchenko just all of a sudden just turned into, I'm going to be very precise and I'm going to pick my shots, and he did. He was landing, I mean, I wouldn't say at will. Hatton was still pressuring him a lot, but Senchenko would land his right, he would land his left. He was just picking him apart. Now, he wasn't doing like a grand boxing spectacle, but he was landing at when he wanted to. He was not throwing as much, but the quality of the shots were a lot more pinpoint and more accurate to Hatton's rough and tough, wanting to bang, constant pressure against the ropes kind of type thing. Same thing with the 7th and 8th round. I totally gave it to Senchenko based on how the 6th round was going. Constant, pinpoint accuracy punches and stuff of that nature. Then the big 9th round, I was actually starting to think, do you think they'll give it to Hatton, a gift decision? Do you think Hatton definitely has to knock him out to get the win, because Up until then, I had Senchenko 6 rounds to 6 rounds to 3 by the 9th round. So round kicks in. It's still Senchenko doing what he wanted to do. Again, he wasn't bullying him. He just was landing the cleaner, crisper shots, and it ended up being a left to the body that dropped Hatton to the ground, or actually not to the ground, on one knee, and the count begins. It gets to 8, and 9, and he was done. That body shot was too much for him. And the dream of Hatton trying to start something new, start a second era of Hatton, coming from that 3-year layoff, was put on hold. It was probably stopped. Is he gonna continue fighting? I mean, I don't know. He did say that after this fight he would like to retire if he loses. Let's see if he sticks to his word, but I can tell a lot of the people across the pond in the UK were super hyped about it, and I understand that. Your heart says something, but then your brain says something else. And like I said, after that 6th round, it was just to a point where it's like Senchenko is just going to dominate with his pinpoint punching accuracy, and he's going to win the unanimous decision, I thought. But I mean, my hat goes off to Ricky Hatton. I mean, he looked like he was in shape. He looked like he had some energy. He was just too open. He was a little bit too reckless and too wild, and he should have bobbed and weaved like he said he was going to do. And there was too many doors open for Senchenko to walk through. And you got to keep your defense tighter. And I know that's the way Hatton fights, but given that that's how he fights, it's not very good. You got to tighten it up a little bit. He could have easily went in, peekaboo style and work inside, but no, he goes and he's throwing straight rights and lefts, and Senchenko was just picking him, and that's just not smart. He shouldn't have done that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Do I want to see him fight again? Yeah, I'll see him fight again. Should he fight? Probably not. But I mean, that's definitely his decision. But that's pretty much my post-fight video. I was rooting for him, but like I said on Twitter, it may not end well for him, because given logically out for 3 years, and this is what happened. He got knocked out. He got the stoppage. Senchenko got the stoppage over him with the hook, and the fight was over. So that's it. This is Armando with the Boxing Corner, and I'll see you next time.